Yeah, opening weekend, I think it was a great test for our program to play a top 10, top 15 program right out of the gate. It's a great gauge for us. We feel like we're a program that's on the cusp of being a national type program, and to kind of be in every game, while being Friday's game and yesterday's game till the end, it kind of speaks volumes of where we are as a program. We're in position to win. We just didn't execute when we had opportunities. And so coming out of the weekend, we're very disappointed in the fact that, we lost 3 games. We feel like we're better than that. And so moving forward, we have a lot of repair work to do on some little things that happened over the weekend. We match up as good as anybody. I thought we matched up very well this weekend with a top 15 program. So we got a lot of baseball to play, and 5 games this week. It's going to be a very busy week for us. We don't have any time to feel sorry for ourselves or look back at Oregon. We got to look forward to Irvine and USD and the Tony Gwynn Classic this weekend.
Coach, do you think having seen Oregon make that big jump to the top 10, does that say more about them or more about you guys and where you're expecting you guys to finish this year too?
I think they played good enough to warrant them being a top 10 program. I think that's as good a team that we're going to face in the regular season all season. And so hopefully we have an opportunity to see them again in the postseason in a regional or super regional.
Looking back on it, are you happy that you got that kind of gauge of talent like you mentioned, or is maybe start out with somebody who you guys not in the top 25 was a better move?
No, I think we're going to continue to schedule national type programs from here on out. We feel like this program's in position to make a push to get to Omaha and have the opportunity to play for a national championship. So our schedules from 17 through 19 are already done, and it's littered with top 25 programs in non-conference play. So we're going to continue to do that, and because we feel like that's where we are as a program.
Marcus, what was it like Friday night, seeing the packed house and getting your first Friday night start this year? What did that feel like?
Well, at first I had obviously the opening day jitterbugs. My heart was pounding. But as the game went on, I kind of settled in. It was really cool. Obviously, Oregon being top 15 program, I wanted to showcase what I've worked so hard the whole fall for. And I was just super excited, super happy that Coach gave me the opportunity to start Friday night. And I was able to go blow for blow with their pitcher who's supposed to be a first rounder, so it was pretty cool. It was a pretty awesome experience.
How do you guys think that after just that one series, there's a lot of new faces on the pitching staff and the rotation and the bullpen? What was your first impression of how that worked out this weekend?
Well, I think a little bit of our inexperience kind of shown through a little bit with points of execution. Whether it's hitting a cutoff guy or not covering a base when you're not supposed to be covering a base, executing pitches at the right time, and we out-hit them, we outfielded them. They had timely hitting. We didn't do that, in points of execution, and that's really the difference in the series. We didn't have a very good pitching performance on Saturday, from a veteran guy, Cody Thompson, but he's a lot better than what he showed. I think he made a lot of 2-out, 2-strike mistakes that he hadn't done in the past, and that's where they scored 7 runs off of 2-outs, 2-strike base hits. And so obviously that has to be repaired moving forward. But, we feel good where we are, but we have a lot of work to do in order to compete with, Irvine tomorrow.
Do you guys feel like after a week like this week where you're going to play upwards of 4 to 5 games that you're going to have a pretty clear picture of what your bullpen's going to look like or what the totem pole will look like in the back end?
Absolutely. We'll kind of figure that out as we move through the next 5 games. There's some guys that haven't had an opportunity to pitch that'll get the ball. Harrison Pyatt's going to start for us tomorrow. Last year as a redshirt freshman. And we also have some other kids, Kenny LaPierre, that didn't get the ball this weekend. And so the bullpen, we have some experience there. We got Jacob Erickson and Brian Heldman that can finish games. But I thought Alan Trejo came in and threw an inning yesterday and threw a clean inning. He looked very good. And then C.J. Saylor, who closed for us last year, is going to get the ball at some point in the next 5 games at the end of a game as well.
Marcus, what was it like, speaking of C.J., what were your first impressions of him behind the plate after a whole year of pitching last season?
He was awesome, honestly. Like, obviously, CJ, he was recruited here, big-time catcher. He was very good in high school, and all fall and stuff like that, bullpens, fall ball games and everything. It was just fun throwing to him because, I mean, he's great at receiving the ball. I have total confidence with him behind the plate. I mean, Oregon's supposed to be known for their run threat, and I think the whole series they tried to steal off him maybe 2 or 3 times. And I know after he threw out Graybeck in the first inning of Friday night, I felt comfortable the whole game, and I kind of took a lot of pressure off me when they had people on base because I knew I could just focus on the hitters. So CJ's a great player, great catcher, and I love him catching me.
I think they attempted 2 stolen bases all weekend. And so we threw one out and the other guy was out, but got called safe. Just a personal opinion.
As far as Thursday's game against USD, do you guys kind of feel like you're the hunters now in that rivalry, knowing that you swept it last year?
You know what, every year's different, and so I just think it's a great opportunity for both our programs to showcase college baseball in a different area. And a lot of people, whether it's North County or Orange County, don't have an opportunity to see us play, can come to Lake Elsinore and see the products we put on the field. We're very proud of both our programs here in San Diego, and so we're looking forward to it, and we're expecting a big crowd, and we obviously have some good memories of Lake Elsinore and some bad memories of Lake Elsinore. So we're looking forward to going back there and playing USD. It's a great opportunity for both our programs.
What do you like about that ballpark?
It's a minor league park. It's a baseball atmosphere. People are there to come watch the game and have a family type of experience. And so when we went to the regional last year, they filled it up pretty good. And obviously, the first game of the regional, it was pretty full, and there were a lot of San Diego State fans, and it made it feel like a home game. And so hopefully we can have that happen again on Thursday.
You thought about taking on the squirrel?
I'm sorry?
You thought about taking on the squirrel?
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't even know what the squirrel is, to be honest with you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, all right, so their PR guy, just by way of info, dresses up in a full bushy squirrel outfit, and he's almost a world-class sprinter.
Oh, okay.
So they always get somebody out of the stands, and they line him up, and they give him half a field head start, and this guy just blows by him.
Okay, the squirrel. Now we know what the squirrel is. We'll maybe have Denzel Chapman, our fastest runner, challenge him that night. That'll be good. Be a good race. So.
Change direction there, but as far as yesterday on Brett Seaberg, I know last year it was not the kind of season you wanted to see out of him himself either. How good was that to see him kind of look like he got settled in there against a pretty good hitting team?
I think, that was the true Brett Seaberger. He was battling arm soreness all year last year. I think even going to the regional last year, it was pretty much broke. He had minor surgery over the summer. In the USC game, he was down in the bullpen, kind of looking at me like, hey, I'm ready to go in, and there's no way we're going to put him in because his arm was pretty much done. And so he was on a pitch count yesterday. We exceeded it. We were going to go about 50 to 55 pitches with him. And really, honestly, he probably could have got one more inning in if we could have caught a pop-up. He came out with about 71 pitches, and that was, a little bit over our limit. His next outing will be somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 to 65 and gauge it from there. But, we're going to handle it with kid gloves moving forward, and his pitch count's going to be monitored very closely. But that is a Brett Seaberger that we recruited, and, he threw his fastball to location, got those guys off his off speed, and really dominated. Threw the fastball in, threw it away, elevated it once in a while. He's not a guy that's going to wow you with velocity, but he had enough to get in there and get him off balance. He had a great outing and put us in position to win that game yesterday.
What do you guys think is the biggest silver lining you can take away from this weekend?
That's no fun to lose. I mean, I think the biggest thing is that we know we have a lot of work to do, and that's kind of what we pride ourselves on is working out the problems that we showed over the weekend, and we're going to take care of that hopefully tomorrow, and then on practice on Wednesday. We don't have a whole lot of time to rest and feel sorry for ourselves. We got to move forward and continue to compete and work hard and make sure we take care of the little things.
Mark, what does the Tony Gwynn Classic mean to you?
Well, it's a long time coming as far as I'm concerned. Concerned just because Coach Gwynn's vision several years ago is he wanted to find a way to have a preseason tournament, that would showcase the best baseball programs around the country, and him and John Mayfield were talking about that for many years. And we tried to get a couple tournaments put together, and it's very difficult to do. And we're very fortunate that we had an outside group approach Alicia and San Diego State and USD to kind of put the tournament on. And it was a fast and furious deal about a year and a half ago, and we found a way to get it done. And I'm hoping that the Tony Gwynn Classic last forever, and just to have college baseball teams from around the country that want to come to this, to San Diego to play here in the Tony Gwynn Classic is very humbling. We have, I think, the tournament scheduled through 2019 with marquee names like Texas A&M and Oklahoma and Arkansas and teams from all over the country, Arizona State, Oregon State. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's top 25 baseball programs, and they're knocking down the door to come here. It's a great honor and very humbling that these people want to honor Tony by coming here and playing at San Diego State and also at USD.
Marcus, same question. So you're going to be the pitcher, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And with regard to you living here, being a local, I'm sure you know Tony Gwynn really well.
Yeah, so obviously Coach Gwynn, he was one of, as being a San Diego kid, he was a role model growing up. Just obviously anything Padre, anything sport in San Diego is Coach Gwynn. So it's really awesome living on his memory and stuff like that with this classic, because big time teams like Coach said, I forgot to say, but Vanderbilt is coming down, I'm pretty sure, either next year or the year after, and they're a very top program. But it's pretty cool living on his name through a baseball tournament where teams from around the country come, not just California teams.
And then Marcus, if I can go back to, with regard to playing USD, is there a type of rivalry there? Do you get a sense of that?
Oh, big time. When last 2 years, we've played them 3 or 4 times, and every time we play them here or there, I always just get an extra fire in my heart whenever we face them, even if I'm not pitching or anything. It just something about controlling San Diego or just being the top dog in San Diego. And luckily for us, the last 3 years, it's been us, but they're a very good team, and you never keep people under the radar because they can always surprise and do well. But it's cool to know that we have a crosstown rival that can play at a high level and help us play at a high level too.
Marcus, just by way of information, because I probably should have been informed, but don't really know, but you guys all have your heads shaved. Can you tell us what that is?
Yeah, so we work with the Versus Cancer program, and it's our second year working with them. And basically it's just that as a team, to help support them, we shave our head at the beginning of the season, and at the same time we also donate money. And last year we raised about like $8,000. I don't know how much we raised this year, but
A little over 6 right now.
a little over 6, but it's a whole year in donations, so we'll see how it is at the end of the season. But yeah, basically we're supporting them, so by doing so we shave our head at the beginning of the season, and that's our way to show our thanks.
The program started with a young man by the name of Chase Jones that played at North Carolina several years ago, and he got brain cancer. And he was a baseball player at North Carolina, and came back from it. When he came back to the team, he was bald. And what happened is the team shaved their heads in support of him. And so what he decided to do is create a foundation, or the Versus Cancer Foundation, to raise money for children's cancer research. And so the money that we raise goes to support Reyes Children's Hospital. And, it's one of those things, this program is affected by that disease, and it's also, it's a support of Coach Gwynn and a lot of other people that have been infected by cancer. And so that's why we chose to do it. And it actually kind of, Chase had reached out to us last year, and it's a slam dunk. Absolutely, we're going to do it. Every one of our guys is all in. They throw their ego out the door, and They look like me and Jason for a little bit, but their hair grows back. But it's a great cause, and our guys do a great job of raising money and supporting that. So it's a really neat deal, and I'm so proud of our guys that how they handle it. It's a really good job.